就是吧。Hello，Hello，明个喇叭。
我之前
Yes. Okay, let's start, right? Um, okay, so when will we finish? Last Monday. Linguistic devices, right? I think I asked you to read at home, right? Mm, okay. Hello, Henry. Um, are you all using Telegram?
Yes.
Okay, so let's make a group, right? Because Viva is sometimes it's difficult to save the files, right? That's why let's make up the group in Telegram. I would send my phone number. Okay, I send the phone number. Okay, I got it. So we need to add Shunlai and Suzy here.
Yeah, hi there.
Oh, really? Where is it? Oh, okay, wait a moment, please. Henry, uh, Susie has already said hi to me, and I don't know how to add her in our group.
Can you see the three bars at the top of your screen?
Let me check. Yeah, I see that. Three dots, right?
The three bars at like the left top corner of it.
Mm, add contacts. A moment, please. Hello. So let's discuss um, your homework, right? I gave you homework. Okay, so which one we need to discuss more?
We've already finished literary techniques.
I think I I gave you as homework. Um, what is it? Flashback, foreshadowing, list, mood, patronizing tone. I gave you as homework, right? Hmm. So did we discuss that? Not yet, right?
No,
Okay, we haven't discussed that one. Okay, so let's discuss about it. Okay, so let's discuss about Senator. Do you see that one? Senator. Susie, do you see the word Senator?
Yes.
Okay, so let's discuss that. Well, what is Senator?
A synonym is a part of something that represents the whole.
Mm, okay, so Henry, how about triangle?
tricolon or triplet is like it's a principle in literature where it is believed that representing like grouping three similar items together makes them more memorable.
Okay, so what is different between rule of three and triplets? Did you notice that? Because we have already learned rule of three last Monday, right? So today is the triplet. So what are the difference between them?
I feel like triplet is like the device like the technique that represents the rule of three.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So now let's move on to the next one, another. Okay. So Shalaway, can you discuss about what is another? Hello, Shala, are you there? No. Okay, so Susie.
Anecdote. Anecdote is like a short story that a writer tells about a real incident or like a person.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Um, the writer's experience, right? Sometimes the writer they mention their experience. That's we call the anecdote, right? Okay, so now about colon. Charlotte, are you there?
Mark, and it used to link to closely related clauses.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So what is different between colon and semicolon?
Colon is closing the closing how can I say linking the closely related clauses, and semicolon is like independent clauses.
Okay, yes. And then now let's move on to the next one. Dash. Henry, what is dash?
A dash is a type of punctuation that is used to emphasize ideas or add some extra information at the end.
Okay, yep. So I think you have already known the right dress, the right speech, examples. Okay, now let's go to flashback. Susie, when we have to use flashback and why we use it.
Flashback is like talking about events that already happened or like referencing the events that already happened in a storyline to kind of make the reader remember what happened.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so foreshadowing. Charlotte, what is foreshadowing?
It's like giving a hint to the reader, like what will happen in the next sentences.
Okay. So the next one is patronize and tell. Henry, what is patronize and tell?
Oh, sorry. Patronizing tone is when the writer adds a writing that is kind of like a mysterious to the reader. So it doesn't directly say the what the writer wants to say.
Okay, yeah. And the next one is a personal pronoun, right? You have already learned that. Rhetorical question and also then. Semicolons we have already discussed, and then senses. Okay, that's it. Is there any question you would like to ask about literacy devices right now here? No? Yes? No? Okay. So let's do exercise. Let's do exercise, right? So I will send you a file in the Telegram. Let's read a paragraph and then let's look for literary devices here. Okay, I set a file here. You have to read the paragraphs, right? You have to read that page, and after that, you have to classify how many literacy devices are written in it, and then you have to give the name for it, right? Okay, have you done the exercise? Okay, so Henry, in the first paragraph, how many devices do you see? And then can you pick up that phrases? And then can you tell me that?
The first one I see is a simile that describes
What is that?
the pebbles as smooth like duck's eggs.
Okay. And then?
And the pebbles are also described as a metaphor as the pebbles that David like the kind of pebble that David used to kill Goliath.
Okay.
And the sea is described as pewter and lead, which I think is kind of an imagery. And the waves are also described as surly as a kicked curve. And honey and butter, the cliffs are described as honey and butter and sunshine. Is I think it's also imagery, like a sense of taste. And also I noticed that they put the honey and butter next to the grave of gravestone and happiness. I think that's juxtaposition.
Okay. So do you think that there is triangle or triplet in that sentence? The cliffs, honey, and butter. Is that triplet or not?
I don't think
No.
so.
Okay. So Charlotte,
Yes.
yeah. What is the phrase meaning of the gray of gravestones and loneliness? What's the point? Is there any points there?
I think honey and better in sunshine and that phrase, the gray of gravestones and loneliness are in contrast, and which means that like a negative feeling or something sadness or past experiences.
Okay, yeah. And then do you see any more in the second paragraph?
I think over and over is a cliche and
Mm,
rhythmically is bebop, also snugly, and red and raw is a cliche and she thinks back to the time before. It's a flashback where the writer narrative about the past events.
hmm Okay, so Henry, do you think the phrase, right, red and raw is a cliche as Sean said?
It can be in some context, but I don't think it's that overused.
Mm, well, what can it be? So is there any sentence, is there any describing about the wind has tanned her long hair into whips, which lash her cheeks wax and raw? Is there any device mentioned?
Could it be metaphor?
Metaphor, how is it?
Because it describes her long hair.
Mm-hmm.
As waves. Like long
Yeah,
hair.
actually, it's not yet.
Mm.
Yeah, it's okay. So, you can see her cheek red, right? But what is the meaning of raw? Okay, let's imagine that if
It
you
describes like when someone lashes a whip,
mm,
it tears your flesh. So it's the torn flesh is described as raw.
okay, yes, correct. So now let's move on to next. Mhm. So the last sentence, the sun was shiny and the beach was innocent. What do you see there? The sun was shiny and the beach was innocent.
A personification.
Personification, which one?
The beach was innocent.
Okay, so which one it refers to? Which means innocence refers to?
Uh, the beach.
Yeah, so comparison, right? Comparing
Yes.
of which situation? Okay, so sometimes we can say that we have seen that um, the beach is wild, right? So in which situation we call that the beach wild, and when can it be innocent?
When there's like a storm.
Mm, yeah. So if the wave are, if we see the high wave in the beach, right? And then we can hear that sometimes the sounds of the waves are very loud. Other time we see that, oh, now the sea is like a wild animal right now, right? So what can be innocent? Other time the sea is calm down, right? The sea becomes calmed. The waves are coming down, and then no, we don't heard any sounds of the wave like that. That's we call the innocent, right? Okay. So thank you. So now let's move on to next one. I sent you the question, right? So last week we haven't discussed about the question, what kind of question you are going to make, and then what kind of questions are asked, right? Okay, so now let's open up the file. January 2023. Do you see the question file?
Yes.
Okay. So you have to notice that paper reference, right? In paper reference, you will see 4EB1. Okay, so you will see 4EB1. That is the question you have to answer, right? So there can be 01 and 01R. And actually, and mostly, not mostly, okay, mostly November, October, and November, you will see only just 01. But in May, you would see 01 and 01R. Actually, 01 is for for their local students, and 01R is for regional, right? For international students, right? That would be a little different. The question type is the same, but only just maybe the extracts will be different, right? So whenever you check, whenever you want to learn about the question, the past paper, that question should be paper reference must be 4EB101. Okay, so now let's move on to next. You will see session A, reading. Do you see that? Okay, in session A, reading, you will see number 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so 1 and 2. Question number 1 and 2 is you will get only just 2 marks. One is for 1 mark, and question number 2 is for 1 mark. So they have already line numbers, and you are only just short question and answer, right? That is a short question type. For number 3. Number 3 is you have to explain how the writer present her ideas about music. It means that you have to do analysis, right? Question number 1, 2, 3 is related to extract A. Question number 4, 5, 6 is related to extract B. Okay, you would see question number 7, that's what we call that comparison. In question number 7, you have to compare those two texts, A and B, and then you have to look for some differences and similarities of devices and how the extracts are using the similar devices and different devices in the extracts. Okay? Yes. So is there any question till now? For question number 1, 2, 3, question number 1 and 2, you have got 2 marks. You are given 2 marks. And for question number 3, it's got 10 marks, right? So altogether 12 marks. And question number 4 and 5, you are given 3 marks. For question number 6, it's 10, right? So question number 7, in the comparison, you are given 15 marks, right? So altogether in session A, you are given 40 marks. Right? Okay, so let's see the question number 7. Refer to both text 1 and text 2 to answer the following question. So you have to compare how the writers of text 1 and text 2 present their ideas and perspectives about listening to music. So you have to support your answer with example from both texts, right? So 15 marks are given. Okay, so any questions for that? Any question for session A?
No.
No. Okay, so now let's move on to session B. Okay, session B. Session B, reading and writing. You have to answer the question in the session. So in session B, sometimes it can be a letter, sometimes talk, sometimes speech, sometimes report, sometimes website contribution, right? Sometimes article. Okay, so there will be maybe about 6 or 7 topics you have to learn in session B, but you have no choice there, right? So you have to answer only just what the question asks, right? But in session B, you have to learn article, talk, speech, letter, right? And then website contribution like that. Okay, so in session B, question number 8, you are given 30 marks. Okay, so when you answer question number 8, session B, you can take references from both text 1 and text 2, right? So that is 30 marks given. So now let's move on to the next one, section C. Are you there in section C?
Yes.
Okay, so in session C, you are given 3 questions. You have to make a choice. Okay, so question number 9, that is an essay. Okay, so an essay, you have to choose number 9 or maybe number 10 or 11. You have to choose one of them. So question number 9 is essay, 10 is a story narrative writing or story writing. Okay, so question number 11 is descriptive writing, right? So if you want to practice your writing skill in session C, you better choose. I would like to suggest to choose two of them, at least two of them, because some students they choose only one topic, but that is very risky, right? So and that is also very dangerous. Maybe sometimes, for example, you practice at essay a lot, but when in the exam room, sometimes you cannot get the idea about essay. Other time you have to think about another. You have to make a choice another already, right? So I would like to suggest you to practice at least two, right? So question number 9 or 10 or 11 or 9 or 11, right? But for me, I will teach every topic, right? Okay. So any question for session C?
No.
No. Okay. So are you clear for the question type?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Yes. So if you are clear for the question type, let's go to a guide to using point, evidence, and explanation file, right? Let's read that one. Please open up that file. A guide to using point, evidence, and explanation. That file is to prepare for question 3 and 6. Okay, so let's read the first. No, only just 4 pages, right? But in 4 pages, only first page and second page is explaining about how to write it. But for third one and fourth, you would see the phrases. When you write the point, what kind of phrases you should use, and the evidence and the explanation. Okay, so let's read one and two first. Page 1 and 2 first. Okay, are you done? Hello, are you done?
Yes.
Yes, Chair.
Okay, so I think you have already read it, right? So the example here is using PE example. Charles Dickens described the creator of blah blah blah. That paragraph, you will see bold is a point, underline one is the evidence, and italic is explanation. So there are more detailed explanation below it. And then next one, you would see the tips and language choices. Okay, so for the points, there are some notes. What kind of devices, what kind of things you are choosing. And then next one, you can use useful phrases. And then next one is evidence, right? So the last one is explanation. So about language tip. So you may find yourself using show more than once. Uh, maybe sometimes while you are writing about the points, don't use only just show again and again. Instead of show, you can see reveal, implying, indicate, convey, demonstrate like that, right? You would change the words. And then next one is connectors, right? So you better use appropriate connector and then structuring paragraph using PEE. Okay, so that's the last page, I think. So you have to remember for the point, evidence, and explanation, there are more notes about it. So the last one, how to write a top grade PE paragraph. So to write a PE paragraph, you have to find keywords. Okay, start your explanation. But even though it's at the PEE, sometimes the student can write, even though it's at the point, evidence, explanation, you can write evidence, point, and explanation. Sometimes you can write explanation, point, and evidence like that. Okay, you can shift their places as much as you want. If you are if you are okay to use it, right? And then I think that's it. Any more questions?
No.
No, Chair.
No. Okay, so now let's move on to next one. Do you see question number 3 screenshot? Okay, let's learn that. When you write question number 3, you are writing AO2. So what is AO2? Okay, AO2 is you have to, when you write the question number 3, you are showing how much understand and how much you can analyze to the extracts and what the question asks. But one thing you have to be careful is that sometimes you would see many devices in the extract in the test, but you have to choose appropriate points and appropriate evidence what the question asks. You cannot copy. You cannot write the devices you see in the text, right? You must choose appropriate devices, appropriate evidence and point from the question asked. Okay, so now let's see. For 0, no rewardable material. So there are level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Level 1 is giving 1 to 2 marks. Level 2, 3 to 4 marks. Level 3, 5 to 6 marks. Level 4 and level 5, right? Okay, so please read that page. Do you need to know the marking scheme, right? Are you done?
Yes.
Okay. So level 1. In level 1, which one are needed to level 1? Okay, so Shanae, can you discuss about level 1 and level 2?
Yes, to get level 1, we need to have basic identification and a little understanding of the language and structure. But the use of references is limited. In level 2, uh, we need to have some understanding and have to make comments on language and structure. And this lesson of references is valid but not doubled.
Hmm. Okay, so Susie, level 3.
And to get level 3, you have to have a clear understanding of the language and structure the writer used, and you have to be able to explain the effects and why they use it. And you also have to be able to explain the use of vocabulary and the sentence structure the writer used to use, and also the references are appropriate and relevant to the points that are made.
Okay, yeah. So Henry, level 4.
In level 4, you need to have a thorough understanding of the language and the linguistic structures and how they're used by the writers. And you need also to have like flexible vocabulary, sentence structures, and other language features. And you need to have a really detailed reference, which is appropriate, and you need to fully back up your points.
Okay, yeah. So level 5, that is the highest marks, right? 9 or 9 to 10. So you have to mention about your point of view and how much you understand about your the point of view, and you have to analysis of the language. And then especially in that level, the use of vocabulary and structure, different, wide range of vocabulary, and then sentence structure, right? So only just the simple sentence structure is not it's not interesting for them, right? You have to use different sentence structure in your writing. And then next one is you have to avoid discriminating, and then you have to clearly state what you see in the test, right? Okay, that's it, the how the marks are given in question number 3 and 6, right? So they are the same. So is there any question for that? Not yet?
No.
Okay, yeah. If there is no question, I would send you an example, right? The sample one, the sample answer. Okay, so let's read their sample. Okay, do you see the sample one? Sample S1, S2, S3, S4, S5. Can you read S13? Can you read S13? Can you read it? Are you able to read that handwriting?
The S13.
Yes, S13. Charlotte, Susie, are you able to read it?
I guess it's okay.
Okay, so let's read it. Let's read S13. Let me know if you're done. Okay, have you done S13?
Not yet.
Okay, yeah, take your time because the handwriting is difficult to read. If you are finished 13, let's move on to reading S14. But let me know if you're done or not, right? Are you done reading?
Yes, sure.
I'm almost
Oh, Henry, you haven't done?
no.
Oh,
I'm
okay. So,
trying to read the handwriting clearly.
okay.
Oh, I've also done.
Okay. So let's wait for Henry.
I've also finished.
Okay. So I will tell you their score, their marks. S13, S13 got 9 marks, and S14 has got 8 marks, right? If you want to see their marks and commentary, you can see page number 9. On page number 49, sorry. On page number 49, you would see their scripts, their marks, and their commentaries, okay? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So please keep on reading as your homework. The rest of the maybe what are those? S15, 16, and 17, right? So take as homework, and then you have to read it. And then the marks also, S15 has got 5 marks, and 16 has got 1 mark, 17 has got 3 marks, right? Okay. So is there any more questions?
No.
No. Okay, so let's say bye. See ya.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.